Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Football Forecast Show, in which we try to analyze football from an unbiased perspective. But I am 100% and 200% unapologetically a Manchester United fan. Welcome to the third derby show. The third derby. When I say third derby, Man City versus Man United as the first derby. Man United versus Liverpool is the second derby, and now we're talking about Man United versus Arsenal, which to my mind is a third derby in England. Today, Manchester United is going to lock horns against the league leading Arsenal, the Gunners, who for a very long period of time have not been able to capture or lay their hands on the EPL trophy. And from every look and every possible statistics that you find out there, they have a higher probability of taking it all the way to the end this year. So I hope Arteta gets to bring home the trophy for Arsenal, but that will mean they have to go through Manchester United first. They have to go through Manchester United. They have to pass through us, which is an interesting thing to begin with. First of all, Manchester United and Man City. First of all, the last game that Manchester United played against Arsenal, it was not the kind of game that we expected because we lost. Not because we did not merit to win, but because of a referee's error. It was because of the ref that Arsenal won the game in the first round. This game, over the years, between Manchester and Arsenal have been a watertight game, dating back to the days of Fergie and Wenger. It has always been a difficult game. Even when Mourinho came, he also inherited similar kind of traits, and we do not expect anything less of that kind of intensity. Today, Manchester United gets to lock horns against Arsenal, who are not only leading the league in the UK, they're also leading the league in the Champions League. They are number one in the Champions League for a reason. Arsenal have gone undefeated in their last 8 games, and they're playing some interesting kind of football this year. I think Arteta have gone all 360, and now he's about to reap the rewards of his hard work, and the Gunners are about to reap the rewards of being patient with one trainer for so many years. It is not rewarding mediocrity. I think giving him opportunities to build a team have set Arsenal up to be at this level where they are. So with regards to the game today, Manchester United versus Arsenal is going to be an uphill task for Manchester United, and it's also going to be an uphill task for Arsenal. If we look back the first game under Amorim at the beginning of the season, that game United had every reason to win that game, but for a mistake by the ref. So I think Manchester United players, they go back to the Emirates with an eye and with a thought and realizing that, you know what, the first time around something was stolen from them and they have to get it back. If they have to get it back in front of the Gunners fans, that will be one more reason to celebrate. That will be one more reason to celebrate. So going back to Arsenal with this kind of ambitions, it does nothing but help Manchester United. The coming of the new trainer, the new coach of Manchester United, it's also something that is going to motivate and spur the players to bring in a performance worthy of what they did last week against Manchester City. If we were to go based on what happened last week, everyone would simply write off Arsenal, but this is football. It's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes play, so you cannot just write off anything at this level. Like I said, Arsenal, they are not top of the league and top of the Champions League by chance. They merit to be there. They're there on merit, but today they're going to meet a challenging and upcoming Manchester United that have gone full cycle after the later Amorim go with his 3-5-3-4-3 system. Now we have a new trainer who have come with a different philosophy. They play 4-2-3-1 system that changes to a 4-4-2 philosophy system when they don't have the ball, and also changes to a 4-3-3 philosophy. So throughout the course of a game, Manchester United now seems to play three different formations. But it takes a lot to realize that that is exactly what they're going to do. So with regards to today, which players do we think will be able to bring their A game? I think for Manchester United, you're hoping that Bruno, playing as a number 10, will be able to cause the damage when called upon. You also have Mbeumo, who he did not have a wonderful Nations Cup, but because of the load that he had while playing for Cameroon, he could not really bring what he have in him. But now I think at the level of the back in England, where he doesn't have to do a lot of defensive work but just focus on the offensive work, I think he's going to be a force to reckon with. You also have Ahmad. You also have Ahmad, and Ahmad, I don't think you need to be reminded of what he can do, the kind of damage that he can cause with small, with little, in tight spots. So I expect Ahmad to come big today. I also think that Lemans will be busy. It will not be an easy, it will not be an easy game or a laid back game. This game is going to be to Lemans like the last 10 minutes of the game against Newcastle. The whole 90 minutes is going to look like that. But I mean, we have defensive improvements with the return of Luke Shaw, with the return of Maguire and Martinez. I think we have a solid back four to depend on, who can make life a lot easier for our goalkeeper. But it's not going to be an easy task. It's not going to be an easy task. You also have for Arsenal, I think we'll have to look for a way to contain Saka, who have been in scintillating form when called to protect the Gunners. He have always come in and have given his all. I think Saliba and Gabriel are going to be busy today. They're really going to be busy today with what Mbeumo will be able to bring on board. Mbeumo and Ahmad and Bruno, they're going to show him they're going to show both of them different perspective or different angles of play. But I think those two players are up to the task. Saliba, come on, Saliba is a world caliber player. Then not to talk about Gabriel, he's a rock, a solid rock. So it's not going to be an easy task. If someone is thinking that this game is going to be a walk through the park, that person has to think again. But do I think Manchester United is going to win? Before the end of this show, I'll be able to give you my position when it comes to that. When you look at where Manchester United is right now on the league table, sitting feet Liverpool lost yesterday. This has given us an opportunity to go to the fourth position, I mean the top four. I'm talking about top four. So let us evaluate who is number one. Arsenal, how much did they spend over the summer? Over 400 million. How much did United spend? 200 million. How much did Man City spend? Over 500 million. Liverpool won the trophy and spent over 500 million. United spent what? 200 and something million. But where is United today? Fit on the league table. That tells us that if the owners could go out of their way and bring a decent midfielder during this transfer window, someone who can just cost us about 50 million, that will do the tricks, and Manchester United will end the league at least inside the top four. One change of that magnitude will get Manchester United into the top four. So now, are the owners willing to do that? That is where we have a problem. Are they willing to come up with the resources so we can get someone, just some decent midfielder, someone who can come in there and protect the defense, so we can mitigate the amount of goals that we concede? How possible is that? Can the owners go out of their way and do something of that nature so they could please this club and please the fans and get this club into Champions League football next year? That is where we stand today. If something like that is done, I can guarantee Manchester United will be in the top four. Look at those teams that spend more money after they were ahead of United than the top four. And United find themselves in what? Fifth position, with big, wide open window to go to fourth today if they happen to get a victory against against Arsenal. Will it be an uphill task? Yes. It will be an uphill task, but are they capable? Yes. If you watched the game last week, it's easier to conclude that United is going to win this game. But the game is one over 90-minute period. So we cannot just conclude like that. A game is one over 90 minutes period. It's going to be a difficult task, but not a task that is beyond Manchester United, given the kind of players that they have and where they are right now. So when I look at the outstanding performance of the players that we had last week, I still maintain that the trainer, I don't think he's going to make a lot of changes with regards to our possible first 11, the possible first 11 that we have for this game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes with regards to the players that played last week. I still have Patrick Dogu playing up front with Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad. You have Kobe and Casemiro, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Maguire, and Dalot. And I still have Mbeumo to be up front as the striker instead of Sesko. Sesko will still have to take some time to be on the bench so he can learn his trade or learn and gain some maturity and some experience so when he comes in, he can make a difference. So that will be the possible 11 for Manchester United. When it comes to Arsenal, which players do I think that they'll come? Following over the weekend, they rested a lot of players when they played over midweek, the game against Inter Milan. That was one hell of a performance against Inter Milan after making up to 6 substitutions. So I think they played the game over the Champions League game with an eye on this game against Manchester United. That is why some players were left out. But I think the probable 11 for today will be David Raya for Manchester for Arsenal, Ben White, William Saliba. I think you have William Saliba and Gabriel. Julian Timber, oh, that kid is wonderful. Then you have Zimmerman, Declan Rice definitely, Bukayo Saka, Trossard. Now the issue will be at the striking position, whether he'll go with Gyökeres or he'll go with Jesus. Jesus, he has been in wonderful form since he returned, and these are the kind of games that he is used to. He's accustomed to these lights. When these kind of lights come up, that is when players like Jesus, they come to stage. And they come and they make sure that they don't leave without you realizing that they were here. So at the striking position, you have that decision to make. When he makes that decision, then it will only give us a couple of difficulties. But I think United, they're up to the task. They're up to the task. They're up to the task. So home to home, head to head records, it doesn't speak well it doesn't speak well for United. The last 6 games against Arsenal have won 4 and there have only been 2 draws. But this is an opportunity for Michael Carrick and his guys to show us that they're up to the task, to show us that they deserve to be in the top 4. They should get in the top 4 and force the hands of these owners to get us a defensive midfielder who can help protect the defense line so we can then push now for a 2nd or 3rd position. That is the way I look at this game. Possible outcome for the game is going to be a clean sheet for Manchester United. It's going to be a clean sheet for Manchester United. The defense under Michael Carrick, with 4 defenders, it's a lot easier for us to defend the goal. In addition to that, it's not a makeshift defense like what we've had in the past with Heavens and all of those kids coming in to help Amorim when he was on the hot seat. Now we have Carrick, he have come in and he's lucky to have Maguire, Martinez, Luke Shaw, and Dalot. These 4 players used to play for Carrick when he was the assistant for Ole. So these players are already accustomed to what he wants them to play. He doesn't have a lot to tell them. They know what he wants from them. I think that is also something that will help this team to mature real fast under the new trainer. So it's not a transition. It's just implementation of what they've done in the past. In the middle of the field, he's also the coach under Ole, who they promoted Kobe. So it goes without saying, Kobe is one of his disciples. He's not going to keep Kobe on the bench. Kobe will partner Casemiro in the middle of the pitch. When you have Kobe and Casemiro in the middle of the pitch, when they have the ball, they go offensive. When they don't, when we don't have the ball, now they sit back and wait. The other 2 wingers, they drop back. That way we have 4 in the middle of the field. So we always transition from 2 midfielders to 4 when we do not have the ball. We always transition now to 4 attackers and 2 midfielders when we don't have the when we have the ball. That way we can protect the defensive line. Up front, he's also one of the architects. They with Ole, they brought in Bruno. And Bruno, in his scintillating form as a number 10, he is capable to unseat any other number 10 in the world at the present moment on at that position. Then you have Ahmad with all his skills and everything that comes with his play. And then you have Wemo with his force and technique. I think Manchester United, they'll be up to the task. They'll be up to the task. Doku have come from nowhere and he's a dark horse. He's putting in a lot of mileage. The last game he ran 11 kilometers. So there's no way he's going to sit on the bench for this game. He's going to begin the game. And then the bench, we have healthy players. Now we have Mason Mount on the bench. We have Kuna, who is recovering from a slight knock. But eventually he'll have his time to prove to the new coach that he deserves to be in the starting 11. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the prognostic. That's a preview for this game against Arsenal. Arsenal Manchester United to win by at least 1-0. Manchester United to win at least 1-0. It could be more, but Manchester United is going to win. I see a clean sheet, but Manchester United is going to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a preview for the match Arsenal versus Manchester United. See you again over the week. That way we can discuss, we can review the game and then look at where we made progress. If we have any difficulties, that way we can continue to. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe to this channel, Football Forecast Show. Hit that notification bell, subscribe so you can bring content like this to your doorsteps. Have a blessed day and let us all enjoy the game. And join me to pop a champagne after the game. Have a nice day. Bye.